Welcome back, Phosphor fans. We are once again celebrating 30 years of the Nintendo Game Boy, specifically the monochrome version. I mean, we'll get around to Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance titles at some later date. I'm sure they'll make it into the rotation. But for the 30th anniversary of the system itself, we are all about the original monochrome system and its original very monochrome games. And this one is kind of funny because it is based on an extremely colorful game from the arcade, and yet it still gets it really, really right. Of course, I've liked most every port of q-bert that I have played on any given system, so maybe it's just that it's a hard game to get wrong. But this is the original black and white port of q-bert. The music at the time was kind of unlike anything I'd heard come out of a Game Boy speaker. It's still rather impressive. Change them to the target color. Well, obviously it's not really a color. But we're not going to hold that against it. Really, the music for the Game Boy version of q-bert is invented out of whole cloth. Now, to play this one, unlike, say, the Atari 2600 version, you had to press on the D-pad in two directions simultaneously. And so that was fraught with difficulty for some players, I'm sure. But I always found it very much instinctive. You couldn't exactly turn the whole machine like you were supposed to turn the joystick on the Atari 2600 port, for example. Now, the Game Boy screen being a square, in order for there to be any detail, which the detail on this game is wonderful, and as you can see, it's playing with the convention of the original game, always having a playfield in the shape of a pyramid. Not so fast, because you are not necessarily confined to pyramids in this version of the game. But to get the amount of detail in the graphics that they wanted, they made the game scroll around the playfield. Not a huge amount, and it's not beyond the capabilities of the hardware, but it's interesting. This one is kind of a double pyramid playfield. Oh, I forget if that's Ugg or wrong way, but it doesn't matter because I just bumped into him and died. An apple. Okay, so q-bert now gets added to the list of video game characters that eats fruit. Like a lot of fruit. As you can see, in order to give you a bit of a fair shake at dying, to give you a fair shake since there's action happening off-screen depending on where the screen has scrolled to follow q-bert, there are indicators as to where the next ball or coily egg is going to drop. Oh, Sam. And yes, all the characters are in this version of the game doing what those characters do so well, which is make you crazy. And now q-bert has intermissions, not only Pac-Man, these are kind of charming. There you go, q-bert, the movie. As you can see, there's a lot of interesting shading and patterning going on. Why did I do that? I did not mean to do that. To compensate for the fact that the system is not capable of generating color, and yet this is a very color-based game. Well, I missed that apple, and hey, time stop ball is my friend. Yeah, as I just demonstrated inadvertently on my previous life, the discs are still a handy escape tool in this version of the game, but where they deposit you is not necessarily something that you can always predict, and you might wind up in worse trouble than you were in to begin with before you stepped onto the disc. Oh no! Oops. Shut up and play. Well, I hesitated and lost. You know what they say about he who hesitates? Well, I just proved it. The apples and fruit were not part of the original arcade game, but they are, they're a nice bonus item. So there you have it. Really, very good for the q-bert. Not that the q-bert is unique in that there really hadn't been any major stinkers, in my opinion, in terms of porting the q-bert to home consoles over the years. Of course, that may be subject to some debate, but I even like the Atari 2600 version. I thought it made excellent use of the system's capabilities and stayed true to the gameplay. As you can see, you have an option to continue from where you were, which is good if you want to keep going through the game and see just how wacky the playfields get. There's one that I like in particular that it's kind of a donut, and it's got a big hole in the middle that you can fall into if you aren't exactly sure of where you're going. So there you have a q-bert for the original Nintendo Game Boy. Yet another fantastic 80s arcade port on what may have really been the most impressive system of the early 90s. We'll keep on celebrating the Game Boy's 30th anniversary and keep on playing some classics in upcoming installments of Phosphor Fossils.